Hello, everyone. It's a bit of an unusual setup today, but I wanted to do a stream to celebrate the 4.5 release. Um, I hope you can hear me all right. I have a different camera, and there's a lot of light coming from here, but yeah, it should be as always. All right, gonna give it a few more seconds until people join in. But yeah, um, let's jump into it. So I guess you all have seen it by now, but just in case you haven't, here it's the 4.5 release page. Gonna leave a link. Uh, and yeah, it's been a long time coming. I always have fun reading what people comment. A lot of people are really happy about the pacing of the development, but for us that we're working on this every day, it feels like it took very long for us to get it released, but people are happy that we get them out really soon. So yeah, this is gonna be a very short stream, but I wanted to celebrate it a little bit. Okay, so one of the biggest things that we have here in the new release is the stencil buffer and the accessibility uh, options, which is basically like screen reader and some other features like that. And going into the download, of course, please report any bug if you find. But every time we make a release, this is some of the things that we spend a lot of time doing. In this case, we needed to find a lot of examples and videos. Adam has been doing a great work of collecting all these and creating them. But I will not be reading all the notes here one by one. I really encourage you to visit the page and go at your own pace because there is a lot. Look at all this. And yeah, I'm gonna go over a few of them that I think that are quite nice, but I might be biased. So this one is really impressive. Like I guess if you want to read more, you can see here on the GitHub different examples of things you can make. It's not only for making those sort of portal effects, but you can also create outlines and things like that. There's been so many videos already about this feature that I feel like explaining it's not so interesting. But if you want to learn more, always each card have a read more button that you can go in deeper. And yeah, this one also, like the screen reader support, you can add to any control node. I won't go too much deep into that one. I hope that there's new tutorials coming out about it soon. But for me, like this one, the rabbit hole down the rabbit hole, like the back script backtracking, it's really good, especially because you can know now who is calling which script until the point of which that you get the error, which it really helps a lot when debugging. This one I'm really excited about, which is the localization in the preview. I already talked about it on the previous stream when they asked me about which one was the one I liked the most. And if you worked, in a couple different languages, you probably found this to be an issue because up until now you had to play the game until the point where you had that scene to see the preview, but now you can see it very easily in the editor. So this one is really good. Tile map layer. I hope we get more tile map improvements. People who use it are really passionate about it. So this is always welcome. And I've been using it a little bit lately, and I found it to be much better than last time I used it. So every time I open the tile map layer or the tile map editor, it's really good. Can I now export C# projects to web? No, we really tried to get that one in this time, but it wasn't, it didn't make sense to, like, we need more time to make it work right. But I want to say that for 4.6, it is a priority. Like for 4.6, we really want to have C# web exports working. And if that doesn't happen, we need to really reconsider what we're doing wrong in general, ask for more help, or like I really think we can make it on 4.6. But yeah. On core, this usually it's you know, uh, I see people very excited about the different core improvements. I never really find them that exciting, but I guess I'm not so into the features themselves, like the dictionary duplicate, array duplicate, duplicate deep. I guess you might trip into that one, but might be how you set it up. Um, does it have backwards compatibility? Yes, you should be able to open the any 4.4 project with this, no problem. But before doing it, please make a backup. And if you're not, like, use version control. Uh, you should use version control. Will there be built-in script is open next time you open the editor? I don't understand that question, David. Have you heard of the Genova project for C++ in Godot? I think I have, but I'm not that deep into it. Is that one for running C++ on Godot games, or I'm not sure if you want to link it here. Either way, editor. A lot of people was really excited about the muting the game toggle. I found that one, to be also useful. But if there's any other features like this that you would like us to add on the preview, please, open a proposal. This was a feature that got introduced in last version, and like we still see some things that I would like to see improve and things like that. But yeah, the drag and drops to generate uh, code is always very magical. I don't know how much people use it. The autocomplete is quite good, but the more we can do that's easily like that, I think the better. I see the chat going so fast, I get distracted. You guys forgot to mention about the native IoT in the C# section for Android. It's pretty huge. Yeah, some, like, this is not everything that happened on the release, but these are some highlights. And you might find some things that you're really excited about that did not make it to the release page. But that doesn't mean that, that we forgot about them. It's just that we have to pick and choose. Otherwise, it will be an infinite page. I wish the UID paths could be switched off. They make code very unreadable. Yeah, you don't really have to use them. You can still use the paths. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Even if you can use the UIDs for the code, I myself still use the paths, no problem. And this is only if you are expecting something to be changing directions or if you don't want to break it. But really, if you don't make anything super fancy, you should be able to run like the usual path through all the resources and all that, and it should work, no problem. But yeah, I don't want to go too deep into reading a lot of them, but you should really visit the page. I think the team did a great job on all the features. There's been like a lot of people contributing. This one is really good, like the SVGs. I really like the fact that you can make them look better instead of exporting raster graphics. Yeah. Yeah, I meant toggled. I know some peeps like it. Yeah, but you can ignore it. That's what I mean. Like, you don't really have to engage with it if you don't want to use the UIDs. Of course, the engine internally will still use them, but yeah, you don't have to write them at all. Will Godot 5 change massively? When will we see it happen? I don't think we're gonna be doing a Godot 5 soon, but if that happens, like, I don't want it to be as big as the Godot 3 to Godot 4 change was. It should probably be like a different version of Godot 4 that breaks compatibility in many cases, but not a drastic rewrite of everything. So yeah. In external text editors like VS Code, you can hide UID files too. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you really want to, and if you're using the editor, you can completely ignore the UIDs system. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of things here. I really encourage you to go and read it. There's also a lot of people that are making videos about it. I already seen a couple recommended by YouTube, and they go like deeper into each of these features. But I wanted, to come here to acknowledge it, to let people know that the release is out, and it's thanks to all these people. So all the names here is from GitHub usernames of people who contributed to make this release happen, and there's a lot more that that they also contributed but might not show up here because maybe they just tested something, they commented on something, but there's a lot of people here involved, and I really want to thank everyone who donated and who've been involved in the development process, because you made this happen. So yeah, give it a try. If you find any issues with Godot 4.5, please let us know and create an issue on GitHub. We expect to have a 4.5.1 really soon, especially because after the big release, we suddenly get a lot more people testing it and we find some issues. So expect that to be something that happens soon. Let's see the chat a little bit. Are you aware of any compatibility issues at GD extension level? Not that I'm aware. Like everything should work the same, unless if you find something that doesn't, that means that we broke it. Create an issue, we should fix it for 4.5.1, but everything should work no problem. You might find more compatibility issues with older plugins. The older you go, like 4.2 or 4.3, the more likely it is that you will find some issues, but you shouldn't have any big issues coming from 4.4. As always, please make a backup before updating. Yeah. Will GDScript 3 appear with Godot 5? That could be one of the reasons. Maybe, GDScript improvement might be one of the reasons why we need a Godot 5. But at the moment, we are thinking about Godot 4.6. So that's what we're going to focus on. Just learned that a couple of hours ago, the mouse pointer sometimes disappeared in macOS version, but I think they will fix it soon. I think it's the big update of Godot 4. That's interesting. I would like to see. I'm using Mac most of the time when I'm making games, and I didn't find that issue. But yeah, if you can report it, please do. Are there any plans for 3D performance rendering improvements? Yes, we do have actually big plans for rendering improvements. We hired a new person that will be working for the foundation in rendering. They start this week, so of course it will take some time until they get up to speed, but you can expect for 4.6 to have rendering improvements across the board. Are there any plans for code obfuscators for Android exports? Yes, but not on paper. Like I've noticed that a lot of people are worried about the code obfuscation on releases, and even if it's the same problem you have with any sort of software, and it doesn't matter if you make a game in Unity and Real Game Maker, like people can decompile it and get the code anyway. I think there are some things we can do to improve the situation, especially because people care a lot about it, but there isn't any concrete plan about what that will be. So what is going to be the biggest change in 4.6? Are we gonna get Godot 5 after 4.6? No, probably after 4.6 we're gonna get 4.7. But biggest changes, I really want to see some things improved. We made, we grew the team a little bit more, which I'm gonna cover it later now. Maybe we can jump into that right now. I remember in the last stream, I talked about like the people that we have at the foundation and not like that being hard to find out. So I created this page in the Godot Foundation website in the team section. Now you can see people who are currently hired to work in Godot and what each of them they do. You might know them already from GitHub. Actually, if you click on them, you will see their GitHub profiles. So if you click here on Hugo, which most people know as Kalinu, you can see what they're working on. But not all of them are working in the engine itself. We have some people that are working in things that are not publicly visible, like the asset store or things like that. So you might find that some people don't have a very field in GitHub profile. But we do have all these people, and as I said, a new one that we need to add, which is going to do rendering, and another one that's probably gonna be helping out with Android, which is one of the things I wanted to see better in 4.6. We noticed that Android was getting a little bit stale, and there's many things that we can improve. We have many users that said on the poll that they were interested in developing for Android, and being one of the biggest platforms there are, I think it's about time that we give it a little bit more attention. So expect to see some improvements for Android in the next version, among many other things, of course. But yeah. Other plans for UI improvements. It's not that bad stuff, kind of scattered everywhere, and some areas lack ability to be moved or docked. Yes, one of the first things that will happen in 4.6 is the theme update, and with the theme update, we'll see which things we can improve in general. We have now Michael Alexander, who's the new editor maintainer, and he's basically tasked to improve all this. So this comes from like any sort of feature that we want to clean up, editor that we want to improve, or new things that we need to add. So yeah. And also last stream, I asked people about, like not having the Portuguese localization, like the translation of the website, and that happened. So thanks for the community for that. Let me see. Yeah, it was really nice to see the website now in Portuguese, especially because we had so much traffic from Brazil. I want to give the shout out to proper person. I will here. Okay, so this is the PR. Thank you, Tiago, for making it. And yeah, it's great to see the website. We have some plans now for 4.6 as well to update the website a little bit. It's quite dated by now, and there's many things that are missing, but I think one of the things that I miss the most if you come and visit the homepage is that you don't really see the editor a lot. You don't really see Godot until you start getting deeper into it. So I really want to add that more front and center. And taking advantage of the new theme, we can actually make a bigger splash doing something like that. But yeah, I wanted to thank the contributors that helped out with the Portuguese translation. And yeah, we have a lot of languages now, which is great. Let's see. What about the asset store? Well, the asset store we do have at the moment Andre, Inigo, and GP Garcia working on it. We have some big updates coming out soon, but we've been also working on the donations and the voting platforms. We needed some improvements there, and that will require some setback on the asset store, but it's still going very well. We're starting to get a lot of traffic, and we'll soon start the process of letting people know that the asset library will be deprecated. So we have all that planned out, but we need to execute it well so that people don't get any interruptions in terms of like, missing out or not being able to install their plugins from the editor. But that's also another reason why we needed to hire an editor maintainer, because we need to remake the asset library tab inside the editor, because it needs to pull the new information from the store, and it will have to add like a new system to make sure that you can download the assets that eventually you will buy. So it requires a lot of changes, but it's coming along. And I'm gonna be closing out soon, but I wanted to reply to some comments I got on the forum, which I will leave a link again as well here. The first one, it's about the Blender Studio dog walk and the open movies, which I think like the comment itself is usually like I've seen this in many different shapes and forms, which is, are you going to be making a game, an open game, something like that? And I would really like to do that, but unfortunately we don't have like the budget, even if the commenter like acknowledges that. I think like the thing that makes it really hard for us to make a game inside the Godot Foundation is that the people that we hire are people who are good at making the engine or the platforms and systems around the engine. But for making a game, you need people who know how to make a game. So I can imagine us doing something collaborating with a studio, like the collaboration with Blender, but more a deeper collaboration with somebody else, so that the game developers bring their expertise and we bring our expertise, which is making the engine itself. But like it's not something that we can plan at the moment. Like this is the entire team that are at the foundation, and we're already quite busy with the engine itself. Adding a game project on top of it, I think it will make the releases go slower, and we will need to be spending more time and resources on that game. But I think everybody sees the value in it, and we will all love to do it. And let's see, the other one, Goranov asks, right now, every time a new release, including dev beta build, comes out, we need to download the full export templates, which is around a gigabyte. Most of the time, I only need the Android exports, but I still download all the other platforms. Is there a plan to split the export templates so we can download only the ones we actually need? For example, just Android export, then when developing on Windows. Yes, that is a plan. I hope we can get it done for 4.6, but we've seen some issues, especially where we are hosting the files. Um, Not so long ago, people were having issues downloading them from GitHub, and one of the main issues was because of the size. So yes, uh, there will be a way. We need to figure out the UX and how that will feel, but there will be a way for you to download just different export templates. Maybe not as granular as just one platform. Maybe we can do like mobile templates and desktop templates and web templates on our side, but we'll see. Like, I don't want to like promise any sort of granularity, but this is something that we really want to improve. The conversation happened many times, but now that we started to have issues and that the templates are growing, I think it's more pressing than before. Um, And the question number two is, when it comes to Android SDK updates and policy related requirements, they sometimes take months to arrive in the new Godot release. Even when fixes or changes are developed in just a few days, we still end up waiting months until the next full release. Yeah, yeah, that's something that any chance we'll see faster turnaround for Android related updates. Yes, that's why I said like we are going to be onboarding a new Android developer, and we hope to get all this improved. That's one of the goals for 4.6. So I'm happy that community is asking about things that we are planning on addressing. Um, so yeah, that's something that I'm really excited about. I'm not a mobile gamer myself, so I need to actually get a little bit more into it to understand it. But I've seen that there's a lot of our community that's really invested in it, and the process of publishing in mobile stores is not ideal. There's a lot of SDKs that are missing, and the easier we can make it for everybody, the better it will be. So that's one of the main goals. Okay, so Alfonso says, make an internal jam so you can see any UX details that we have got used to. Yeah, that's something we do. We do some internal jams, but if you do an internal jam, that's maybe a project that we do maybe over the course of a day, 2 days, maybe even a weekend. Like, I participate in a lot of jams myself. The problem is that you can only find some issues that are related to very small games, and you miss out on the bigger pains of games that are making of studios that are making games that take longer, right? Many of these issues might not appear once you're doing a game jam, but they might appear when you're working for 2 or 3 months on a project, and that's where I feel making a game would help to find those issues. But yeah, okay, so it's what's like unannounced. it was a smaller stream, like a smaller amount of updates and things like that. But I wanted to do it anyway because actually today, in a few hours, I will be flying to Amsterdam, and I have two missions there. The first one is going to the Blender conference, which starts tomorrow. So if any of you are going to the Blender conference, see you there. And the other one is scouting to see what we can do about making a conference there. As you've seen in the previous Godot Tomorrow streams, um, people really want us to do something in Amsterdam, and I think we can do it, but we need to do a little bit of research, talk with some people, see what's viable or not. So yeah, if you're in Amsterdam this week and you want to meet up, just let me know. And yeah, that was it for today. Please go and try 4.5. I'm gonna leave the link here a couple of more times. And oh, I don't know if that link works. You got too excited. Okay, there. And thank you for everything. Thank you for being there, and see you next Tuesday in a more regular schedule, more time, and yeah. Bye.